Overfishing occurs when fish are caught faster than nature can replace their supply. If the exploitation of our ocean's resources continues at its current rate, we can expect to see the total collapse of all edible fish stocks within the next 40 years. Currently in Australia, recent media articles have highlighted to the extent overfishing is occurring. ABC News claims that excessive fishing has caused stocks of large Australian fish like bream and snapper to decline by a third. The study looked at 200 species and 544 sites and found that the main cause of the decline was due to overfishing. They have also discovered that areas where fishing was allowed, big fish declined by 36%.
In addition, according to Sydney Morning Herald news article published on the 5th of June 2018, revealed that wild fish stocks in Australian waters shrank by about a third in the decade to 2015. According to data collected by scientists and public divers, the research based on the Aquatic Conservation Journal and 533 sites around the nation found declining numbers tracked the drop in total reported catch for 213 Australian fisheries for the 1992 to 2014 period. So this graph shows the total catch for inshore and offshore fisheries related to 1992 after standardization of each fishery to a year of the maximum catch. So now let's focus on the global issue such as Philippines. According to The Guardian, on the 23rd August 2018, explored that overfishing causes crisis in Philippines. As a global demand for seafood has been increasing rapidly, such as sushi, sashimi, and tinned tuna, has brought more competition and massive overfishing. But there's still not enough fish to support the demand in General Santos. General Santos was officially known as Tuna Capital. It is one of the planet's most important center of tuna production. Face the prospect of total collapse. Taking small, young fish would be prohibited in much of the world, but it is legal in Philippines. That's a problem.
The impacts of overfishing is a serious threat that has an extremely devastating and destructive effect on the environment and marine life. All forms of fishing have an impact on the marine ecosystems and how they function, whether it's eliminating predators like sharks or fishing with equipment that damages the ocean habitat. A type of fishing that can damage the environment is trolling. Trolling is when a net is dragged along the bottom of the ocean in an attempt to gather fish or other marine life. Trolling over delicate ecosystems damages wildlife growing on the seafloor, and it can wipe out sponges that have taken decades, if not centuries, to grow. Australia's oceans are some of the richest and most diverse on our blue planet. The Australian Marine Conservation states that global studies have revealed that our northern oceans are some of the last healthy tropical seas in the world. About 80% of the marine species living in our ocean occur nowhere else on the Earth. This means that if we lose them from our waters, they are lost from the world forever. As Australians, we love our whales, seals, and sea turtles, but we might not realise how close we came to losing them forever. Marine life has suffered from hunting and over-exploitation. To make matters worse, some of our marine life are now legally recognised as threatened and at risk. This is due to a range of impacts that include overfishing. Fish are also at risk of illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. It's estimated that this type of fishing accounts for 10 to 31% of the global fish catch, valued at 10 to 23.5 billion annually. It also threatens the capability of legal fishing operations and therefore the economic and social well-being of coastal communities. In turn, this jeopardizes the world's seafood security.
In Australian oceans, marine wildlife is estimated to have halved in the last 45 years, and our oceans are about 30% more acidic than before the Industrial Revolution. The global fishing fleet is 2.5 times larger than what the oceans can support in a sustainable way. Natural reproduction cycles of fish cannot keep up with the demand. Because of this, 24% of fish species are overexploited, depleted, or recovering from depletion. 52% of the world's fisheries are fully exploited and have no ability to reproduce, greater harvest, and several important commercial fish populations have declined to the point of being threatened. Some species that are impacted are the green turtle, the hawksbill turtle, the blue whale, and the southern right whale and the shy albatross. Pollution from farms and urban areas proves a major threat to the seagrass beds of the oceans where turtles live and feed. From the shy albatross, however, it is climate change which is taking its toll on the breeding cycle of these birds, leading to a decrease in their population. Fish cannot reproduce fast enough to meet our demand. This is due to late reproductive maturity, long gestation cycles, and low birth rates. Without giving them chances to recover their populations, we're placing continuous pressure on many species and fishing them to the brink of extinction.
Suitable recommendations to stop overfishing include stopping the use of harmful fishing practices such as long-lining fishing and drift netting that will mass catch and exceed the quotas of fishing. For Ocean 2018, which is related to the Ottawa Charter, recommends to eliminate dangerous fishing gears such as gills and purse seine nets, enforcing tighter restrictions or moratoriums on overfished species, empower thousands of the world's most marginalized coastal communities and coastals to steward their own fisheries, and to provide a fair, equal trade of food and increased income for the thousands of people through small-scale fisheries. Recommendations also suggested by Fish Lab 2018 for the public to stop overfishing is mainly to buy local fish, preferably the local fish markets and fisheries. This is an excellent way to know exactly where the fish comes from, the type of catch, and can also indicate the freshness of the fish. Small-scale fisheries often use less impactful catch methods like hook and line or lay pots and to trap catch their fish. Purchasing from a local fish market also goes towards supporting the local economy and increases the demand for local and sustainable seafood. Another recommendation suggested by For Ocean 2018 is to protect marine areas which can help certain fish species recover. These methods include protecting critical habitats and fish sanctuaries from destructive fishing practices and human activities, maintain biodiversity and provide refuge for endangered and commercial species. It also helps maintain local cultures, economies, and livelihoods, build resilience against damaging external impacts, provide areas where the fish can produce, spawn, and grow into their adult size. For Ocean 2018 has several methods of sustainable options and recommendations which are aimed to protect marine areas from being overfished. By regulating these rules and regulations, a more sustainable future in fisheries can be seen.